What's up, my love? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own review of Family or Fiancé. We got Brandi and Akin. They've been together for 2 years. He messaged her on Facebook. He thought she was beautiful, classy, spoke well, can handle herself, and she's a content creator. Um, Brandi is black. Akin is of Turkish heritage. There's a gap between them, but the age is not a problem. She wants to have children. He doesn't want to have children. So hopefully many other families going through the issues, they could look forward to having children. So basically, when I saw him say that she spoke well, she handled herself, I guess for him, she didn't represent the ghetto black girl or something. She had a little bit more class. She had a little bit more of a standard about herself. I don't know. So the session with Tracy, they met on social media. Like I said, they lived on distance. He lived in Louisiana. She lived in Atlanta. They enjoy long distance. And he owns a restaurant. He's definitely busy. So they're about to get married. Apparently, he wouldn't mind move to Atlanta, but still have his business in Louisiana. So the age gap. She's 37, he's 49. She wants to have children, but he feels like he's too old to have children. He already has one son who's 19 in college, and they have a best relationship. So in his mind, he's already lived his life of raising children. He wants to have fun, travel, this and that. And she's at the age where she's never had children, so her biological clock is ticking. But she doesn't find his reason to be enough to say he doesn't want to have children. He said, listen, this is something you can't take back. This is a decision you're going to make for the rest of your life. I honestly feel like, he's 49 years old. He's already has a son in college. You don't want to start all over. That's not a bad reason. That is literally a legitimate reason. So the task is ask me anything and cooking the questions. Upon meeting her sister, it's been discovered that he used the N word. And that was an issue because they are an interracial couple. So that's a red flag. So hearing that the N word might have been used, the sister's already upset and she's ready to express her concerns. On his side of the family, we have his sister, nephew, and friend. On her side, we have her sister Claudia, her sister Aisha, and her best friend Angel. The family meeting. On his side of the family, they're concerned about him having a baby and also moving to another state. And because since their relationship based off of being long distance, while you can have a long distance marriage, I don't see how having a baby in two different states could be good. I don't know how you guys are going to compromise each other, especially in someone else's lifestyle. His sister wants him to have a baby. Maybe that can, spark up some old resentment that he wasn't able to be with his other son when the son was growing up. Maybe this will be another chance for him. His nephew said, listen, you have two loves in your life. You have your son and you have your restaurant. How will Brandi fit into that category? And having a baby, I know how pretty stubborn you can be, and that's not going to work. On her side, her mother expressed about her having high expectations of what she wants. She knows she wants to have children. I want to know how the conversation is going to go, and I don't want you getting hurt. Her sister, first time about hearing the N-word comment, she wanted to address it. I've had some new developments that you be using the N-word. He said it's fake. He didn't say it. At the same time, with the best friend, she wants to understand and learn about Akin's racial sensitivities. That's her main concern. And I want to know how does that factor with you being black and you being not black. I want you to be happy. So they go ahead and prepare for the task, and the sister is definitely feeling the way about the N word. Now, she didn't call him a racist, but that's to be addressed because you are about to marry a black woman, and saying the N word is not good. So we get to the task. Ask me anything. The first question was, does he use the N word? Brandi didn't really give a time or a place that he might have used it. And she told her mother was like, wow, who is this person? But she said he's not a bad person. The other friend of Akin, who's black and gay, he never felt that energy that he said that, but still wanted to know who did he say it to. Brandi never clarified that it was towards her, towards someone else, but it's still getting to give a clear understanding as to why was already even being said. Who did he say it to? It was important for you to tell your mother, so he must have said it. Did he say it when he was mad at you? Did he call out somebody? When did he say it? So the whole baby conversation comes about how much he wants to have a child, and he's hopeful that he'll change his mind. And on their first date, he told her that he will have children with the right woman. Now his nephew said, "Oh wow, really? He told you that he'll have more kids with the right woman? Oh wow," because he expressed to us more than once that he did not want to have children. Well, we all know what that was. That was just to impress her. What is more important, having the baby or getting married? She says kind of both because she found the love of her life and she wants to continue with having children. Now the sister feels like having children would be good for him, but we wanted to find out, like, are you the right woman that he said he'll have children with, even though he told you that? For his side, we got the conversation again about the N-word. Have you used it? Would you ever use it? He said no. Whoever did it lied to you. But the word had been used around here because his restaurant is hired by black employees, and he's heard them say it, but he never repeats it. And he said, people who knows me, I'm not racist. But at the same point in time, when the sister questioned him, he said, oh, you're crazy. Like, he got really agitated, really irritable. He kept moving around left and right. It gave me the energy that he must have slipped up and said it. I don't know if he said in a fit of rage, a fit of anger. I don't know. He said, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. And then, like I said, he called the sister crazy. It left me with the feeling that he must have said he was frustrated. And like she said, I understand how you can feel frustrated that you saying, I heard you say it, but you got to understand how that makes me feel. I never called you a racist, but I'm hearing a white man say the N-word. I got to get my ears up. Like, what makes you think you can say that word? I don't like that word, and you shouldn't say it. And the fact that you were marrying my sister who was black, I want to know. Because he wanted to hurry up and silence her for her understanding as to why she feels like this. And she said, listen, give me a chance to explain myself. Give me a chance to understand how this makes me feel. Because he wanted to overtalk her and not give her the feeling of understanding. And I'm feeling like, okay, he definitely thinks he can say it. He definitely thinks he can treat black people like shit. So basically, you just like, I expressed my concern. I heard you say you don't use the N-word. I wanted to address it because Brandi told us that you said it. So we'll address her. And it's the same thing. Is he want to compromise on having a baby? He don't want to have to compromise. He just want to have a baby. He is comfortable in his life right now with no children. And he is not pushing on that narrative that he did want more children. Even though he did admit it. He came across the idea of admitting he wanted more children. But he's dead set on not having any more children. This whole situation is a mess. You cannot have a marriage when the other person doesn't want this and doesn't make you happy if you're going to agree to it just to get married, but yet you're going to resent it. Family dinner, we talk about the task and that he never used the N-word. And based on what Brandi said, you did use it. He said, no, I didn't. I didn't say that. So you didn't say it. And of course, the use of the N-word shouldn't be used at all. Her sister talked about, I have 3 boys and they don't refer to each other in that way. Brandi wanted to know if he ever said it. She never expressed that he said it. I don't know if she's trying to cover up the time that he said it and she forgave it because she still wanted the relationship to come around. I don't know. But Brandi never cleared it up. She wanted to talk about something else. So did you hear him say it? Did he not say it, Brandi? What are you trying to cover up? What are you trying to okay something? Because you want to marry this white man. For what? I mean, 37 and 49 is not much of an age gap, but, it's 10 years difference. You wanted a safety net, right? He provided a safety net. So you wanted to overlook him calling you a slur to be protected, to be, cared for, provided for. Let me know. So then the baby situation. He has said it more than once at the dinner table. He doesn't want to have more children. It's a hard no for the baby. His sister keeps on saying, I think it'll make you feel better. He don't want to feel better. He doesn't want to have a baby. So I feel like we're just going to overlook the N-word. We're going to overlook the N-word and then talk about how Brandi might have lied about the N-word and lied about how he wanted to have children. I'm lying about the N-word. I'm lying about having a baby. She walks off. He comes in, consoles her, and say, in the beginning, you told me you wanted to have more children. He said, that was 2 years ago. Okay, so you did admit it. I did. See, this is the thing. So the fact that he just said, I did admit it, he figured in 2 years she would change her mind and not bring it up. And how he's almost 50. He doesn't want to have more children. But she said, why would you propose to me when you knew I wanted to have children? He literally thought that her saying yes or telling her at that point wanting more children, but maybe at times when they got together, times when they were around each other, that she wouldn't have thought about it again. But I'm going to bring up what you said to me on the first date because same point of time. You wanted to impress her. You wanted to tell her what she wanted to hear. And now she's holding you task for it. And now you're saying, I don't want to have children. So, session with Tracy, day 2. We're talking about the next day. The N-word was overlooked. We did not talk about that. The baby situation. He doesn't want children. So you don't want to have children. You were hoping in the next couple of years he would have changed his mind. But he didn't. He told you something, you held on to that hope, and you never was honest about it. And he was never honest about it too. And basically, I don't know, Tracy kind of confused me a little bit. With basically saying the beginning of the date, he could just say anything. It doesn't matter what he said. He could just be talking and talking to impress you, and it wouldn't have bothered you. But right now, since you guys are becoming more permanent, you're now going back to what he said on the first date, which anybody can say on the first date. But sometimes, if you are serious in courting someone and you tell them all the things you are promising for them to do, they will look forward for you to putting those promises into action. So I guess Brandi felt as though if he was more honest in the beginning, she wouldn't have lasted long in this relationship. I don't think so. I think Tracy wanted her to understand, if you're so convicted to having children, tell him that you are not about to wait until he changes his mind and that you're ready for children now. Don't waste your life for him to change his mind, because it could be the next 10 years and he doesn't want to have children. It could be the next 5, 4. How long are you willing to wait while your biological clock is ticking to have children? When? You should have a timeline too. You should have a say so with, well, if you don't tell me you want to have children or not, I'm gone. If you're going to say no, then that's it. We need to be together. That's why it was so easier to be honest about not wanting to have children, because he already had a son. He does not want to start over. So basically, this was pretty much a setup of you guys are not about to come to a compromise. You want to have children. He doesn't. You are not about to waste your life waiting for someone to change their mind, and he doesn't want to either. So just have separate conversations with your family and talk about what you guys want to do, because there's no wedding. And that's what it ended up with. No wedding. So he talks about his family, and now they agree. Brandi's ready to be a mother now. She'll be a great mother. But for him, he does not want to be 60 years old or 70 years old with a teenager. He's ready to travel. He's ready to expand his business. He's ready to live his life. Again, the sister wanted him to have another child because when he was working, he missed out on his kid's childhood, from what I can understand. And how he is so focused on his business, he'll be working, and he does not want to take away the fact that he will not be present in his child's life. He's already done that before. He doesn't want to do that again. And for her, she feels though it's not going to happen, okay? Because she calls him her soulmate. Okay, you have to realize, you want to marry someone, that means you want to have a baby with someone, right? But you don't want to marry a man who don't want to have children. Because there's a possibility that if he was to say yes, he wants to have children, there will be resentment. And she believes it. She believes it and he believes it. Because while she will be a great mother, I will not be present in that baby's life. I can see how I could be there. And she doesn't want to have a baby with someone that's not going to be present. The deal breaker is, I want to have children. He doesn't. I will 100% resent him if we was to have children and he is not as present as I thought he would be. So basically, the sister, the best friend, why are we here? Why are we here? If you're not able to compromise what you want to be a mother now, you want to have children now. So you will not compromise your beliefs for it to be with him. You won't. So, private conversation about what should we do. I use words, you're my soulmate. I don't want nobody else but you don't want to have children. He said, yes, it doesn't change the fact that I love you, but I don't want to have children, but I want you to be happy. So he's giving her that space of he wants you to be happy, but he cannot give you what you want. So he admits to selling her a dream and that he didn't want to come to fruition with. He doesn't want to have any more children. She knew it, didn't want to accept it, just hoping that he would change his mind, get baby fever like she's been having, but he didn't. So basically, the blessing ceremony was no blessing ceremony. It was them saying we will not be getting married. We will not be moving forward in our relationship. We cannot come to a compromise. I want to have a child. He doesn't. We love each other, but we cannot be in a relationship. So they each have to find what they're looking for. So no wedding. Relationship is over. Update. Remain friends. Akin is working on his business, traveling, no relationship. Brandi is finding herself and finding real love and marriage and children. She will find what she wants in her time with someone who wants to be there. He just wants to live his life. He wants to have a nice young girl on his arm, and that's all he wanted. I think having a black girl would have given him more of an exotic image because, men always try to find young women to be on their sides, but if they got a nice hot girl, a nice black girl, it give them an edge. But, yeah, pretty much it wasn't really much to dissect on this episode because it was no future for this relationship anyway. You want to have children, he don't. You're not going to change your mind, he's not going to change his mind either. There was no relationship. Over. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.